All right, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out over 2 weeks now. I've heard everyone making videos my first 2 weeks with the Nintendo Switch, and it really bothers me. So here I am making my own. No, but today my purpose is to tell you everything that I've found to be wrong or not great about the Nintendo Switch. At the end, I'll share one of the biggest problems. And I also want to say I don't hate it. I actually love it, but there's still some things wrong here, and that's what I want to talk about in today's video. Also, if you still haven't picked one up for yourself, there will be a link in the description to grab yours from Walmart. And if you buy through that, it'll actually help out the channel, so thanks for that. I also want to mention Belkin and their new charging case here, and we'll get into that in a little bit. All right, first thing here is brand new redesign. I think it's fantastic. I think it's like updated in all the right places. It's a little bigger. It feels a little slimmer, even though it's not really slimmer. Big problems that I found first and foremost start with the JoyCons. I think the new magnetic thing is super cool. I love that. We did a whole unboxing video. You can see my first impressions here if you want to. The JoyCon thing is super cool and how they've updated it. The problems I've had is straight out of the box, we started playing a match of Mario Kart World and there was stick drift for both of these controllers in this sort of sideways method here. And I did a calibration. I think it's fixed. I honestly haven't been playing much since then with the controllers this way. I've been playing more single player with it up and down. I haven't had any stick drift up and down, which is nice, but I'm hoping that after calibrating it's fixed. I've also just heard that a lot of people are already and still having issues with stick drift with these updated JoyCons because they're actually not updated. They're like the same exact ones. So I've heard mechanisms here that were in the original Switch. So take that as you may. That's a little concerning. All right, the next thing is the kickstand. So I love the new kickstand. I think it's great. You can go all the way back to there. Like you have all of this. It's pretty solid. It's made of metal, which is great. The only thing I've noticed is it is metal, which is good, but the paint has already started to chip on the bottom of this. And I maybe have put 10 hours or less into this since I got it, and paint is already chipping. So that's a little concerning. It's kind of happening a little bit across the board here. And I don't know if that's from I hit it on something. I don't think I have. Could just be putting it down into the dock. I assume it's when it's out because it's right there sort of on the edge. But the fact that the paint's chipping kind of stinks. And that's not really something you can fix without just replacing the kickstand here. So something to be thought about there is, though it's metal, which is great, the paint chips easier than it will on the plastic. All right, the next thing isn't really about like the design or, you know, hardware here. It's about the games. There weren't many games launched at launch. And since then, I don't know if any have come out. I don't really, you know, keep up with a lot of gaming news and stuff like that on what's rumored to come out. I know like Donkey Kong is coming out, but my first concern is that when will we start to see new games? When will developers start developing their old games to suit the new Nintendo Switch? Like I've really enjoyed playing my backlog of games that I had from the original Switch and haven't played in forever. But I wonder if all of those will come with updated graphics for an updated fee, or if the developer will just update the graphics for the Switch 2 so you can keep playing their games. I don't know what the deal is there, and I don't know when these things are going to start rolling out. I guess I kind of just thought that would have been happening already, and it's surprising that it hasn't. But another concern I think is I've heard this has about the processing power of a PlayStation 4, which is great. A handheld PlayStation 4, awesome. As you can see, like Cyberpunk on here runs really well. It's kind of mind-blowing, but I feel like this is like the pinnacle of what this device will do. So as we start to see new games coming out that require more from their systems, or if a PlayStation 6 comes out, if the next Xbox comes out and games are being designed for that, we're already going to be hindered here, and the games probably won't run super well on here. So I'm a little concerned that like right out of the gate, we're seeing what this is capable of, and I don't know if it could go any higher. I would hope, you know, they're gonna be releasing, I would think, a Switch Lite, a Switch 2 OLED, that maybe those would be upgraded. Maybe in a couple, 2-3 years, we get a Switch OLED that has updated like, you know, power, things like that to run higher in games. I wouldn't count on it, but I don't know. That's always going to be a concern. And I know like for a lot of people, me included, this is more for like indie games that don't actually take a lot of crazy processing power and stuff like that to run, but it's just a strange place to be. And I just worry that if this console, if its life cycle is as long as the last one, like what was it, like 6 years or something like that, what that's gonna look like for future games on here. Battery life has been kind of a point of contention for a lot of people playing this. A lot of people are like, I'm getting 2 hours. A concern has been battery life for some people, not for me. I don't play that long in handheld, and usually when I'm done with it, it goes back into the dock, so it's charging. But for those who do play a lot on the go, that's where I wanted to talk about this Belkin case here, because Belkin has created a case for the Switch, which as a case, it's lovely. You've got places here for your cards. You've got places here for wires and cords if you want. You even have a little tiny pocket here for an air tag. So if someone steals this or you lose it, you can grab it there. But the big thing about this one is it comes with this 20-watt Belkin charger here. It straps in here to the bottom. You can plug it right into the bottom of your console and put it in here, close it up to charge, pull the battery out. I mean, you could just use this as an external battery. That's what it is. So just being able to be like, wow, I only have 25% battery. I'm taking this over to grandma's house and I don't really have a way to charge it before then. To be able to charge this as you're heading to grandma's house, that's pretty cool. And this was the first kind of case of all the cases that were made where I was like, that's actually pretty sweet. So thanks to Belkin for sending this over for us to check out. Link to this will be in the description. They've got a couple different colors, and they also make a version of this without the sort of added area for the charging and the charger. It comes with the charger, by the way. But if you want just the protection, they make a slimmer version of this, which also looks like this, which is super nice. Nice handle here, great zippers. I've been really enjoying that. I throw this in my bag a lot, and it's way better putting it in here and being able to charge it if I need to. So anyway, thanks to Belkin, this thing is awesome, and I think it's one of the more innovative cases that I've seen for the Switch. So I mentioned earlier, I think the biggest problem with this, and I had talked about it over on Threads, was if you boot up a game, like from the start, if you boot up a game on the Switch and you start playing it, it has this weird like glitch where you end up playing for like 3 hours. And it's a real problem, especially for someone like me who has a job and a family. It's just so much fun to play. So that was a dumb little joke, but overall, I love the Switch 2. I think it's super fun. I think it's very approachable for a lot of people. Probably why it sold like 3.5 million copies day one or something like that, something crazy. That's just the type of console it is. That's the type of company Nintendo has sort of always been. So overall, I love this, super fun. You know, I think maybe the biggest problem is that it's actually too good. It's too fun, too entertaining. I think the more games that come out will only make it even more so. So yeah, but let me know if you've had any problems with your Switch 2. I've heard some other problems as well. There always will be with a major launch of a product that everyone's obsessed with. But I'd love to hear your stories down in the comments. I'd love to hear if you're a Nintendo Switch fan, if you're leaning more towards ROG Ally or Steam Deck. There's been a lot of discussion on this channel on the Steam Deck video about all this stuff. So if we want to continue it here, feel free, especially all of you Nintendo fans out there. But that's gonna do it for this video. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's great. Links in the description to pick up your Nintendo Switch 2 or this nice charging case from Belkin. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, like this video for more. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos on a Nintendo Switch or anything in the gaming realm. It's not really a way that we're trying to head, but if there's an interest there, we might, make some more content around that. So I also want to say that we've started a website called formfunction.site. You can look it up. It will be in the description down below. It's going to be this running shoppable list of products that we think do a great job marrying form and function, which is of course what we love on this channel. So a lot of those like premium, high quality, well-built, intentional products that we love will be there. We will try to put all of like our affiliate links and like discount codes that we come across and that brands send us to share with you all there too. So it's going to be this sort of like home for all of the products that we review here. So definitely check that out. I think it looks great, nice and simple and minimalistic. I love it. And then there's a newsletter that kind of goes along with all that we're doing here as well, and that is formfunction.news. So if you want to check that out. Other links in the description as well. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Watch this video next. I think you're going to love it. And we'll see you all in the next one.
Yes, I love technology, but not as much as you see. But I still love technology, always and forever.